Hi YouTube friends, this is Elizabeth J with an S, and as you can see I've got a bunch of pens here and a bullet journal, and I'm going to be doing a pen test on my Citrus Book Bindery bullet journal that I'm going to be using for a devotional and reflection bullet journal this year in 2020. So I have a bunch of different pens. I've got my Inkjoy gel pens, which I use for the actual writing of my reflections. I've got the Tombow fine liners, mono drawing pens in 01, 03, and 05. I have got a bunch of different colors for the zebra brush pens. I have got a bunch of colors on the Marvy Le Pen Flex, and this is a Pilot something. And all of these are very small tip brush pens, which I am choosing to use in this bullet journal this year. So the bullet journal, let me put these to the side. The bullet journal is a B5 with 140 GSM paper. The dot grid is 7 millimeters because I tend to have big handwriting. So I thought, let me just try the 7 millimeter since it was available. So I did have a page at the back that I decided to use the pen test on. This was the Tombow hard brush tip pen, and you can see that there is some ghosting on the other side of that, so that is one of the reasons why I chose not to use that type of pen in this particular book this year. So let me zoom in and then we can get started. Okay, so the first pens I'm going to test are the Tombow Mono drawing pen in these are water-based Pigment Ink markers, and these are the pens that I'm going to use to draw in my bullet journal, draw in the like sections in my bullet journal. So I'm going to test all three of those out. One, to see how they look on the paper, and two, to see if there's any ghosting or bleeding or anything like that. So this is Tombow Mono 01. And we don't have any ink. Well, that bites. Hello, Tombow Mono 01. Boo hiss, boo hiss. All right, I'll come back to that one. Here's the 03. And the 05. Okay, so those are nice. There's a little bit of ghosting, but not much. Like I said, this is 140 GSM, so that looks fairly good. So that's a plus. Let's look at the Inkjoy gel pens. I just randomly picked two colors. I use all the colors, but these are the fine tip, 0.5 tip. Hello, spelling. And there isn't even any raised. I can't even see it, so that's great. Okay, so those work really well. Let's take a look at the zebra brush tip pens. I'm just going to do downstroke, upstroke, and then for all the colors, just so I can see which ones work and which ones don't work. So this is zebra. Okay, so those are the zebra colors that I have. And so there is a little bit of ghosting on most of the colors, but not too bad. All right, on to the Pilot. These are very, very tiny brush tip pens. So those are the Pilot fine small tip brush tip pens, and again, same sort of ghosting happening there, not major in my opinion. All right, Le Pen. Okay, so those are all the colors I have for the Marvy Le Pen small brush tip, and again we can see that there is a little bit of ghosting in all the brush tip pens, not unexpected, but just for my information, certainly not as bad as the Tombow brush tip pen, the small hard tip there. So that is the pen test for this type of paper, which is fairly smooth, but has a kind of texture to it, which is perfectly fine. I do want to figure out what's happening with this 01 Tombow brush tip, Tombow drawing pen, and hopefully I can get it working and I can do the pen test. Okay, people, so I'm back now with this Tombow Mono Drawing Pen 01. I managed to get the ink flowing, and in the process get black ink all over my white cabinet and kitchen floor. Yay me. So I soaked the pen tip in warm water and then tied a string and spun it without thinking that the ink would come flying out. I should know that, I'm a science teacher. Duh. Anyway, 2 hours later, we have our pen test. So I think this particular pen is not going to be working. Luckily, I purchased another one. So let's see how that works. Yes. Much better, I think. All right, so these are the pens for the Citrus Book Bindery 140 GSM. So I wanted to do one more test, and that is this ink, Pigment Ink for fine details. This one is in Onyx Black, and it is VersaFine. Just bring that a little closer. There you can see it. I purchased it on Amazon, and you can see here I've just done a quick little ink test with some stamps, and let's just see what the other side of the page looks like with that, really. You can see it's right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. There. So a little bit of bleeding. The heavier stamp, obviously more than just the lines. But I do plan to use stamps in this bullet journal, so I wanted to see how that looked. So basically here we can see the entire ink test page, There are the brush pens. There is the Tombow and the Ink Joy Gel. And really, I think this paper has done quite well with all of those different tests. Again, this is a Citrus Book Bindery B5 bullet journal with 140 GSM paper. This design is the bee, which I think bees are so important. That's why I picked this particular design, and it's on the front and the back. So that is my pen test for this particular bullet journal with that particular type of paper. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so, and you'll get more on different types of bullet journals and my planning as I go through the year. Have a great day.